Be encouraged, be inspired, be yourself, you will survive. Just know it, just breathe it, and be it, and live your best life.
Hello to all of my motivators family. How are you all doing? This is Marlene Motivates, and I am your life coach. So, today we're going to be popping on to talk about challenges in our life. And first off, hello, everybody. Happy Sunday or the end of Sunday or whatever time zone you are in. I hope this message finds you well. We're going to be talking about some challenges in our lives. And I know that every single person is going through something. Hold on a second, guys. We all have issues, right? We all have problems. Hey, Matthew, how are you doing? Nobody is immune from having challenges in our life, having difficulties, having so many things going on. But the whole thing about our lives, because we're focusing on our self motivators, what are we going to do when challenges show up in our life? Are we going to allow those challenges to shift into opportunities? Because, like I always talk about over here, it's all about our mindset. It's all about your focus and how you choose to look at things. Will you look at things as a growth mechanism? Is this going to help me to grow, to do some other things that we're going to talk about in today's topic and podcast? Or are we going to just stay discouraged, stay down, let the challenge, let the difficulty, let the struggle control us? Because that's so easy to do. It's really hard to look at things as the glass is half full or as something positive or something that we can, help us. We tend to think about our situation as this couldn't benefit me, this couldn't be good, and it can, and it is. And we're going to talk about some of those things. So, the first point is, when we have a challenge in our life, it's an opportunity for us to learn. So I'm saying that to anybody who needs to hear it. And I know that when you're going through a challenge, a difficulty, a problem in your life, it does not feel like an opportunity. It doesn't feel like it's something good. But like I said, we're shifting our mindset. That is what we do. We look at every single thing that happens to us in our lives as an opportunity to elevate, as an opportunity to learn. Now, what are some of the things that we can learn? We can learn how strong we are. We can learn who we can trust. We learn that we need to be either more independent or we need to, let go of control. There's a lot of things that we need to learn when we go through something. Hey, Miss Eunice, how are you doing? Welcome in. Good evening to you, and good evening to all of the Motivators family. So that's something that I always like to get my mind right, my mind ready for these type of topics when I come to you all. When you think about a challenge, I want you to focus your mind right now on a challenge that you're facing right now. And I want you to shift your mindset. How can you do that? Is not, fixating on it and thinking about you want it to be how you like it or whatever, you're going to look at it. This is my situation, and how can I use what I'm going through right now as an opportunity to learn something about myself, about life, about a person, because there's always something positive in any situation. It doesn't matter how negative it can appear. It doesn't matter how negative a person can be, or what somebody did to you, or what you did. There's always an opportunity for us to learn something from what we are going through or what we just passed through. But will we learn the lesson? See, that's the difference. Most times we don't learn the lesson. And when we don't, this is when you repeat the cycle. You keep doing the same things. It's when you choose the same type of toxic friendships, romantic relationships, jobs. You have to learn the lesson, and that is why this subject is so important. Taking that challenge, taking something difficult, hard, tough, traumatic, using that challenge as an opportunity for you to learn the lesson. And the question that I have to ask my motivators family is, will you learn the lesson? Will you learn it, motivators? Or will you keep knocking your head on the wall, or keep falling down, or keep allowing people to use you, take advantage of you, because you don't want to believe it is what it is? See, it's time we have to take off those rose colored glasses, or, you know, acting like we're blind to the situation when we're very privy. We know everything that people do and say, and how they treated you, and how it made you feel. But will you accept it for what it is, and not allow yourself to repeat that cycle and do that again and again and again? Because I'll tell you something, motivators family, I've done that so many times. Because number one, I was in the space of not being humble. I wanted what I wanted. I didn't want to accept and believe what it is. But, sometimes, unfortunately, we can't have our life the way we want it. Even when maybe you did the things that you needed to do, some people, some things are just not for us. And I hope whoever needed to hear that got that message. Some things that we do in our life is because you're forcing it. You're making it appear or seem, or even we will talk ourselves into things and make ourselves think that it's something more than it is, when it's none of those things. We make ourselves believe that something is good, and it's not, and it's never been good for us, and it's never been helpful, and it's never been positive. Actually, a lot of things, when it happens to us and we fall flat on our face, we get hurt, and all of those things, is because we did not listen to discernment. The energy was wrong, the person was wrong, the way we were treated was wrong, their actions was wrong against us, but we did not do what we needed to do on our end, and that's why things continue. So this is what I'm talking about, taking this as an opportunity to learn and to grow. And sometimes that means that we have to grow up. We have to literally leave, like move away from certain, um, situations, because the people around us are toxic. Or we have to shift our mindset and tell ourselves, I don't deserve this. I can do better. I can do much better than this. I'm more capable, or whatever it is. We each know our situation. So whatever it is that you need to elevate and to grow in your life, learn the lesson, grow from it, and be better. Okay? And I want you all to be better. Yes, some people say that when we know better, we do better, but that's not always true. A person has to make a choice. Yes, it's choice driven, it's action driven. And so often we will know that something isn't good. You know from the beginning, you know the energy is off, you know how the person treats you, you know the situation, you know that it's not going to change. But guess what? We think, especially in romantic relationships, oh, I can change them, or that it's going to get better, right? We'll tell ourselves that. We'll lie to ourselves, do that false narrative. Oh, they'll change. It will get better. And it usually gets worse. And I'm trying to sound like Betty Down or be negative, but I'm being honest. I'm being real. If things aren't good from the beginning, it's not going to shift and get better until you get better, until you make changes, until you mature in your mindset and in your actions. Okay. Great thought, Miss Eunice. Thank you so much. Hey, Leonica, shout out to all of my mods. Make sure you check out all my mods in blue. Miss Eunice says, my husband and I talked about this today about forcing situations and forcing relationships. Yeah, and that's one of the things in this life is we will try that for a while. And if you're like me, you'll find out that it just doesn't work. No matter how you could be fighting for, a good relationship with people, with children or relatives or this person or that person, but it has to be on both ends. It can't just be you putting in the work and doing the right things. It has to be reciprocated. It has to be supported. It takes two people putting in the work in any relationship, in any friendship, in any romantic relationship, in any job, in any social media collaborations, in every good relationship. There is, respect, there is honesty, there is commitment, and there is loyalty. That is so important. So don't force something when you know that it's not working. And that's why I said on this point, we have to use it as an opportunity to learn. So learn the lesson and, do what you need to do, you know, either leave or start your business or start doing some healthier habits. And even we're going to talk about some other things really soon about how we can really work on our challenges in our life. Hey, Sirius, how are you doing? Welcome in. Appreciate you being here. Yes, double tap the like. Yes, that's true. We have to look at the red flags. A person will change as they want to change. That doesn't mean we have to sit around and wait. We have to see the movement in their life and ours. And most of the time, there is no movement. We know that there's no movement. I'll be transparent because I never mind sharing honestly certain things. There was a few relationships, friend, relative, romantic, that I knew that it was toxic. I know that it wasn't a good situation. I know that they weren't going to help or support me, but we tend to think that people will be us, or they're going to give you because you give, kindness, because you give loyalty, because you give respect. We tend to feel we're going to get that back. And if somebody doesn't want to do something for you, they're not going to. So that's what I'm saying. It All the challenges that we go through in our life, it's always something that we can elevate in our life. And it's an opportunity to not be run over. It's an opportunity to not let people take advantage of us. It's an opportunity for us to say, they're not good for me. I'm not growing here. I'm not happy here. I don't have peace here. So I need to move on to people who will appreciate me, respect me, and love me the way that I deserve. See, that awareness, that's something that needs to go viral. More people need to know, be self-aware of when I'm being mentally taxed, I'm being drained physically, I'm being drained financially. This relationship, it is keeping me stagnant. I don't know how many of you have ever been in a situation like that, that being around certain individuals is keeping you stuck. It's like they're a monkey on your back. They're a dead weight. It's so heavy, and you feel like you're carrying them all the time, and it's straining. It's so difficult. But I say all of that to say this: when we find out that we're being mentally, emotionally, physically, financially, spiritually stressed, drained, not growing, distraught, we have to make a choice and use that as an opportunity. Okay, I see that I'm not growing here. I'm not happy. There is no peace. I'm not growing. There's nothing but negativity. So it's time for me to move on. So whether you choose to break up, move away, walk away, run away, ghost the person, whatever, you know, we each know ourselves and our situation and how we need to deal with those individuals. But what I am saying, don't stay stuck, because that's what the majority of people do. They stay stuck in relationships, they stay stuck with people when we always have a choice to make. You can make a choice to walk away, you can make a choice to grow, you can make a choice to be happy. Hey Nate, how are you doing? Welcome in. Shout out to all of my mods. Make sure you check out all my mods in blue and hit the like if you have not already. Miss Eunice says, "That's right. We can expect people who I'm not reading this right. We can expect people to be who we are, to have the morals and the values and the love that we have. Either they want to do it or they don't." And that is where the personal growth is, motivators family. This is where the growth is. This is where the aha moment, the light bulb should be going off, and you'll be able to, see those red flags. Because I know that many like me, we're not grown into the perspective that I don't have to do anything for anybody, that it's okay for me to walk away. It's okay for me to choose myself. It's okay for me to be my own friend. It's okay for me to make mistakes, but then I move on, but then I grow, and then I mature. See, we don't want to keep hitting our head against the wall, making poor decisions, always complaining about it. No, we are mature, motivators family. We are grown women and grown men. We're adults. And when we see that maybe we made a mistake, or maybe we allowed for somebody to disrespect us, when you finally realize, you change the behaviors, you grow. Okay. And that is what is important. You learn the lesson and you grow. So challenges are just opportunities. It's just wrapped up in different packages. Hi, Lisa. How are you doing? Welcome in. Thank you so much. Shout out to all of my mods. I appreciate every single one of you. Yes, I do not struggle, love, love or struggle. Relationship is either genuine and authentic, or it is not. Yeah, it's a waste of time and it's a waste of energy if we are not getting what we deserve. And every single person is different. Sometimes people can be a good person, but just not the right people for us. And no, I was not in that space of personal growth to understand that before. Not all the time a person is bad to us. It's just they're not good for us because you may not be going in the same direction. Maybe, their personality, or because of some things that you've been through in your life, you cannot tolerate those things. So you have to know yourself. And that's why I say that it's an opportunity for growth. Every single thing that we go through in our life is an opportunity for us to grow and to be better women and to be better men. Yes, Miss Eunice, we're grown. We're not little kids. We have to leave behind that mentality of, oh, I don't want to change, or I'm too old. I've been this way my whole life, or nobody in my family does that. So if I do it, I don't want to, I don't want to, you know, create any waves or any problems or issues. But if something is causing you aggravation, something is causing you mental anguish, or if something's sucking you financially, is draining you, is taxing you, why are you allowing for it to continue? See, this is what I want to give you, that mindset shift, that perspective, that I don't have to take everything that's being given to me. You don't have to. Just because these are the cards that are laid out on the table, it doesn't mean you have to be like, okay, I accept that, I accept that. No. When you see something is not working for you, you have the opportunity to walk away and leave it. Okay. I can't stand when people say that it's just who I am. Yes, me too, Miss Eunice. It triggers me. It triggers me so much when people say, this is who I am, I've always been this way. Or, I know that there are some of my motivators family that have relatives, and then that's what they use, that blanket statement by saying, oh, you know how uncle is, or your brother, or your cousin, or a friend, or the coworker. They excuse poor behavior, they excuse toxicity, they excuse anger issues and dysfunction, lack of communication. And just because other people do it, it does not mean that we have to take it. See, right there, that could be a challenge for some, but it's an opportunity for us to grow. And it is. You do not have to take poor treatment, you do not have to take disrespect. Okay. And that is why we're going to move on to the third point. Challenges are just opportunities for us to grow. And it is. If you really think about it, when we go through things, from your childhood to the present moment till the present day, we each have things that happens to us in our life. But are we going to allow the situation, are you going to allow the drama, a person, certain issues, or maybe some things that people have said that was verbally abusive, that was, really hurtful and brought you a lot of pain? And are you going to believe that? We always have a choice to make, motivators family. We have the choice to make whether we're going to listen to that, lock it in, and use that in our day-to-day lives, or are we going to make ourselves a new narrative? Remember that we are the authors of our life. And if we do not like our storyline, what is going on in our life, we can block things out, block people out, or remove them, block them. That's an opportunity. When things happen that we don't like, we can choose to speak up and to say, I don't like that. I don't like the way you talk to me. I don't like what you said, and we don't have to be screaming, cussing people out, and things like that. You can let people know how you feel without putting people down, without being rude, without being sarcastic, expressing how you feel because you're an adult. And as adults, we communicate. Okay. You have to communicate to other people regardless of if they like it, regardless of if they're on board with it or they want to make changes in their life. This is about us. This is about you living your life the way you want to, the way you deserve to live your life. Okay. Yes, some people continue to live in the past and to allow what people have said in the past to define who they are. We have to let it go and believe in ourselves and move forward, but it takes time. It does. It takes time. It takes time to learn yourself. It takes time to be your own best friend. It takes time to be aware of things that are taxing your mental health. It takes time to, cut people off that are using you. All of these things are opportunities, and I never looked at it that way until I started to develop a healthier mindset, to not let people run over me, talk to me any type of way, use and abuse, disrespect me, but also in making self-application, reminding my own self that I deserve to live my life. I deserve to have peace. I don't deserve to be controlled, and you don't have to explain what you want to do, what you like to anybody. At the end of the day, this is your life. And you are the one that has to make choices on what is healthy and what is toxic in your life. And what are you going to allow? Because a lot of times we allow things that is toxic and just keep taking it because we feel we have no other choices. See, but we do have choices. Every day we wake up, we have to a choice to make whether our day is going to be amazing or great or whether it's going to be negative. It's all up to us. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about an opportunity to grow. So think about it, some challenges that you may be facing in the present moment. How can you use your challenge as an opportunity to grow? See, when we go through things, or when you're going through things, or an issue, or even if it's something that happened to you in your past, whatever happened to you or is currently happening to you, it's an opportunity for you to grow, to leave behind maybe things that maybe somebody told you that you could never do this and you would never be successful. It does not matter how old you are. We can always learn a positive perspective. We can always learn how to be better communicators. We can always learn that it's okay to choose ourselves. See, other people may not like it, but that's not our problem. It's very important as adults that we learn to express ourselves. And I know for myself, for many, many years, I held back from telling people how I felt. I would let people talk to me any way that they wanted to because I didn't want to, quote unquote, hurt their feelings. I would allow people to ghost me, to show up late, to not give me support, to talk to me all kinds of crazy ways, and I didn't want to say anything because I didn't want to hurt their feelings, but at the same time they were hurting mine. See, we are the ones that have to say it's not acceptable. If it's not acceptable for someone to treat you that way, you need to speak up for yourself and to tell somebody when they have not supported, loved, respected, and have not been loyal to you the way you deserve and how you need, things, because every single person has a different love language. We all need different things to be our best, to be our happiest. Every single person needs different things. What I may want may not be what you want, but you have to know yourself and you have to know what you need at the present moment. And that's why I say it's an opportunity for you to grow. Maybe when you were younger, or maybe from your previous romantic relationship, or your previous friendship, or your previous business dealings, you handle things in maybe a not so good way. But now, as you've learned things, as you've grown, you use it as an opportunity to grow, to not make the same decisions that you used to make. Now you think about things. You think about things all the way through to the end. Maybe you don't jump to the conclusion and ask follow up questions. There's a lot of things that we can shield ourselves and others from a lot of pain and aggravation if we just communicate. Okay. It's an opportunity to grow. I know that it's not easy sometimes to communicate how we feel, and other people may not like to hear how we feel, but it's important for us in our personal growth, in our elevation, to inform people. Okay, when you say this is how you make me feel. And yeah, sometimes people aren't going to like it because you're being truthful. Maybe you are opening their eyes to maybe a bad behavior, or being rude, or being controlling, or whatever the case may be that you don't like. You still need to express yourself. I'm speaking up for I want to be the voice of the voiceless, or the shy, or the person who does not want to be confrontational, rock the boat. Still have the conversation anyways, still communicate anyways. Okay. Yes, in life we can be victims, but we also, at some point, we can be volunteers. Yeah, you volunteer to allow yourself to be used, and you are the one that have to shift that and say, maybe before I didn't believe that I could speak up for myself. Maybe before I didn't feel like I should, do something different or do what I like. Maybe before you always would make everybody happy and you never say what you want to do. And now you know better. Now you know yourself. Now you love yourself. See, when you learn to be your own friend, when you learn to communicate and be honest with yourself, you're not going to allow people to run over you. Don't. Yes, we have to love ourselves more than anyone else. And I tell you that until you learn to love yourself, okay, nobody is going to love you like you love yourself. No matter how much you try, no matter how much people tell you how they're there for you and how they support you and all kinds of things, there is nothing like learning to love yourself. I'm telling you, it's a gift that keeps on giving. When you learn to support yourself, when you learn to love yourself, when you learn confidence and how you feel, Nobody can change that. When you know how you feel, when you know what you don't like, stand on that. Stand on that. Even if other people may not like it, you have to show people that you may not like it, but you're going to respect me. I would rather a person not like what I'm saying to them, as long as I am communicating it in a respectful and a firm manner. That is the most important thing. I have to be true to myself. Yes, you have to be true to you. Some people may not like that, especially if you have been around those who tend to have some narcissistic, jealous, controlling, very, very abusive relationships, because I know that many of my motivators family have those things, especially relatives or a romantic relationship, just very, draining, and being around them is very draining because they only care about their self. But we know better, and because we know better, we're going to do better. So the next point, challenges are just opportunities. It's an opportunity for you to make changes. So is there something in your life that you want to shift and change? Maybe your finances? Is it your health? Could it be your attitude? Could it be, where you live? Or maybe sometimes the things that you are settling for, because we do settle sometimes for less than we deserve, because we do things for such a long time. We allow people to treat us a certain way, but we can always make a change. You can always do better. You can always want more. Elevate, what you want in this life, and stand on that. And the ones that don't like it, that's not your problem. That is not your problem. When other people don't like what you do, that's not your problem. You make changes, become more peaceable, become happier, stand up for yourself, know what you want, be confident, and love yourself. See, that is important, motivators family. There's so many that I feel so sad for when I talk to certain individuals when I'm doing coaching, and the self-esteem is not there because they are allowing so many people to use them, to take advantage of them. And they'll say, but they love me. No, they love what you do for them. They don't love you, because the moment that you stop doing all of the things that they want, when you stop making yourself available, when you stop telling them your business, when you stop allowing them to control you, start doing your own thing, having your own life, being happy, getting new friends, working on your health, and then you will find out who really cares about you. Okay? Sometimes, unfortunately, there's a lot of people who do not like to see you happy. They do not want to see you win. And that is why this is an opportunity. Um, that's why the challenges in our life is an opportunity, because when someone reveals who they are, now you have to make a decision if I want to allow that or not. Okay? Yeah, it is so sad, isn't it? It is so sad. But everything that we go through in our life, it really is an opportunity. Everything that you go through in your life, every challenge, every time someone backstabbed you, the people who talked to you nasty, didn't appreciate you, thought you were nothing, thought you would crumble apart without them, and you're doing just fine. And some people think that you cannot do anything without them, that you can't grow without them, you can't be happy with, and you sure can. It's actually the opposite. A lot of times, the reason why you don't have peace, you don't have joy, you're not growing, you're not learning, you're finances is not elevating is because you're around people who are draining. And these are the individuals that you need to subtract from your life. Okay. So I know that that's a hard change to make when I say subtract people from your life, and it's easier said than done. But small changes, small changes leads to big changes in our life. When you add up a whole bunch of small changes, look at them as opportunities. Small little things, make small little changes in your life. Start doing more for yourself. Start doing more that brings you peace, more that brings you joy. Show support to those who support you. Stop supporting those that don't care for you. And you know who that is. We know who supports us. We know who cares for us. And it's not by the words, it's not by lip service, because that's easy to do. It's easy for people to open up their mouth and to say the words, I love you, to say the words, I support you, I care for you, I'm here for you. That's easy. It's the actions that we're interested in, right, Motivators family? See? And when somebody reveals who they really are, now this is the opportunity for you to make a change and make better choices. Okay. Learn to choose yourself. Okay. Learn to choose you. Learn to choose your peace. Okay. And we are here on the last point. So, challenges are just opportunities to reset. Now, I know we're here in April right now, about to go into May. And I know that in the beginning of 2025, we were all excited. And I know every year, the majority of the population gets so excited. It's a new year, it's a new me, it's a new start, right? We start off by saying that in the new year about all the things that we're going to do. So, 5 months into the year, okay? I mean, 4 months into the year, have you done the things that you needed to do for yourself? What are some of the goals that you've had that you may need to revisit? Maybe you need to rework the plan. And that's why the challenge that you go through is an opportunity for you to reset. We each get 24 hours in a day. Nobody gets more because of, their financial situation or where they live or the color of their skin. Everybody across the board gets 24 hours. But what are you going to do with it? Are you going to use your 24 hours as an opportunity to reset? Are you going to shift that your pain into your power? Are you going to make that painful situation, that difficulty, or that challenge something to improve you? Maybe take what hurts you and maybe start a foundation, start a business, get healthier, find a better relationship and better friendship. Are you going to use it as an opportunity for you to reset? Or are you going to just constantly allow it and just say, oh, well, this is what it is? See, no, we're not going to do that. This is our opportunity to elevate and to grow and to be a better woman, to be a better man. When we go through situations, while it's painful, it upsets us, it angers us, because we can't control what other people do. We can't control anything outside of us. The only thing that we can control is our attitude towards the situation. All we can change is what we accept. All we can change is what we allow. See, all of those are opportunities. No matter what has happened to us, we can take anything that has happened to us and allow it to give us, it gives us some fire, some excitement, some empowerment. So I want to say to all of my motivators family, empower your mind. I have the opportunity to change my life. And I want you to say that to yourself. I have the opportunity to change my life because this happened to me. So now I know that's not what I want to do. I don't want to repeat that. Now I want to turn the page. And that's what I want to give a round of applause to all of my motivators family that has ever been through some major struggles in your life, really difficult moments, difficult periods of time in your life. But now you can use that as an opportunity for you to show your strength, how strong you are, how capable you are, how talented you are. See, don't give up when the odds are against you. This is a time for you to fight. Put on your walking shoes, your boots, your heels, your whatever it is, your foot gear, and get moving. Don't lay down and give up on your life. Sometimes when you fall all the way down or when you hit rock bottom, you have nowhere to go but up. You have nowhere to go but up when you get into certain situations, but look at it in a positive way. This is an opportunity for I went through this. It was hard, it was tough, and first of all, you have to forgive the situation. You have to forgive people and you have to forgive yourself. And when we do that, we are allowing our mind to say, "You know what? I did the best that I could. And I forgive me for what I did, what I allowed, but today I know better and I'm going to do better." And you do. But you must first give yourself the permission to say, "I did my best. It may not have been good, but I forgive myself for what I've done. I forgive myself for what I allowed. I forgive whoever hurt me." Because when we do not forgive other people, we give them power. Do you want to give people power over your mind? Do you want to give people power over your talents and your gifts? Because when you do, it's like putting a blockage. It will block your blessings, it will block your dreams, it will block your hopes, block your happiness, block your finances. It will bring so much disruption in your life until you say, "This happened to me. It wasn't the best. It was difficult, but I'm going to use this as something I learned from it. I'm better. I'm stronger. I'm proud of me. And now I'm going to turn the page as a new leaf, a new day, and I'm better." Okay? Yes, Miss Eunice. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. We give them power when we don't forgive and we stay stuck. See, and I want to pause right there because when we go through challenges in our life, especially when someone brings you mental, emotional, spiritual, financial, and physical pain to us, it really hurts us. If you don't forgive them for what they did to you, they keep your power. And the only one that is harmed is us. Because don't think that because you're angry, you have an attitude, and you haven't forgiven them, that their life has stopped. Their life doesn't stop because you didn't forgive them. Your life stops. You're the one that's angry. You're the one that is not using your talents and your gifts. You're the one that doesn't have peace. You're the one that is not sleeping through the night. So, because we know our power, because we know what we are worth, we are not going to allow any challenge, anything that anybody did to hurt us, to keep us stuck and to make us be unhappy. See, there is so much value in your empowerment. And I'm grateful to say today that I am empowered. And I hope that you say the same to yourself. I'm empowered. I'm better today than I was yesterday because now I have more knowledge. I have more strength. Now I know to communicate. Now I know to stay away from toxicity. I know when it's time for me to speak up for myself. And I am so proud of all of my motivators family that has the courage that in the midst of a challenge, in the midst of a trial, anybody who hurt you, backstabbed you, cheated on you, disrespected you, did something to bring some pain in your life, you forgive them. Forgive them for you and forgive them for them so that you can release them and move on with your life. Yes, life is too short. I'm going to be happy. I'm not going to stay stuck. I'm going to continue to progress and to what do my life's mission is that God has set for me. Yes, and that is so important. You have to do what is meant to be for you. And what is my mission, what is my life's work is not going to be yours. You have to find what you're supposed to be doing in this life. Get passionate about your life. And sometimes when we have challenges in our life, disruption, dysfunction, problems, drama, you find your way to your passion. You find your way to your gifts. You find your way to your dreams. And along the way, you learn things, you grow things, you get stronger, you find good friends, you find love, you find everything that you need, because everything that we need is inside of us. It's inside of you, it's inside of me. But we, a lot of times, when challenges come our way, we leave our talents and our gifts untapped. So we just have to give ourselves permission to tap back into your dreams. Tap into what you're good at, because there's so many things that we can be good at, but are we using our gifts? Are we speaking over our life and saying, I'm amazing. I'm good at this. And I'm proud of myself. And I give myself the permission to try, to restart, and and to try over and over and over again until you win. See, that is the difference between a motivated person and just everyone else. Because the majority of people, when they hit a roadblock, a challenge, or there's some fear or worry or some anxiety, or someone has said something to you and you believed it, you stop yourself from having your reset. You stop yourself from opportunities. You stop yourself from your gifts and your blessings, from your hopes and your dreams, all because you did not go for your dreams. So don't hesitate. Don't hold back from being who you are meant to be. So, whatever challenge it is that you are facing today, give yourself the permission to try. Give yourself the permission to forgive. Give yourself the permission to heal, to reset, and to restart. Remember, every day we get 24 hours. What will you do with your next opportunities? I'm Marlene of Marlene Motivates, and I appreciate you all for tapping into this motivational podcast. Shout out to everyone who came through in the live stream and also in the replay. If you are on my replay gang, leave me a comment in the comment section below. And if you're new here, make sure you just subscribe and become a part of the Motivators family. And you know what we say over here. Just know it, just breathe it, and be it, and live your best life. I'm Marlene Motivates, your life coach. Thank you so much, Miss Eunice, Sirius, Nate, and Lianica, and anybody who watches in the replay. I appreciate you. Live your best life. I'm Marlene Motivates.
Be encouraged, be inspired, be yourself, you will survive. Just know it, just breathe it, and be it, and live your best life.
Forgive me, I love me. I've been blessed that I have made it through. I'm stronger and worthy. I am enough now. What about you? Forgive me, I love me. I've been blessed that I have made it through. I'm stronger and worthy. I am enough now. What about you? Ooh, hey, yeah.